This is the dark side of forex trading that's not very popular in the internet. I mean, very few people can actually come out to talk about these particular parts of forex trading. But believe me, majority of traders are passing through this exact same thing. And in today's video, I'll be sharing with you the story of a fellow female trader who forex actually ruined her life. In short, she had to quit forex just because of this. And I would like to know your thoughts also. So here's the video. Without wasting much time, let's just watch this sister share her experience with us of how forex almost ruined her life.
Well, I lost so much money that if my parents knew, they would kill me. I lost almost 30,000 euros in the past years. Yeah. So, hi, welcome. I'm Jennifer. I'm making a video about my past, hopefully it stays in the past, but trading addiction and how it almost ruined my life financially, emotionally, spiritually, everything. So, how I got started, like chapter 1, let's do this in chapters. I used to be really financially savvy, so I was really focused on how can I work up my finances, immigrant kids, like obviously you want to do good in school, study, have a good job and stuff, but for me, I never saw myself really working for someone long term. I always looked for opportunities where I could have my own business long term. Like one of my dreams to this day is to have a pharmaceutical company in my home country, Benin, and it will happen hopefully one day. Anyways, so I was really following these financial YouTubers, back in the day. So there was one specific YouTuber, Lavish Ruby, that I really enjoyed. She would always have these Money Mondays. And because she had given so much value, it wasn't really content that I personally benefited from because she's from the US and all these opportunities are in the US and I live in Germany. So obviously I couldn't benefit from them. But one day, I still liked watching her content, like just the financial aspects, the savviness and stuff. And I would say that I was always good with my money, but I didn't know how to make more money, right? So one day she came up with a course. The course was about trading. It was about financial markets. And because she was a YouTuber, I trusted, power social relationships. I just thought, let me look into it a bit. And it looked sound. And I really like the idea of just paying one time and having someone I kind of trust who it worked for in a sense explain it all to me instead of like scouring the internet for free information that you can definitely do, but you will always have yes and no. Like you will have so many informations that you end up doing nothing, right? So I paid her course. I don't remember how much it cost. I feel like it was a one-time fee, like $200, and then it was like monthly $50, and afterwards she like upped the prices and for like if you wanted to stay in the Discord. So basically you paid a one-time fee, you had access to the course, so all the videos that were explaining it, it was really basic to be honest, but still good. Like the quality was good, I'm not gonna lie. And then you had access to
Let me just pause this video now. This was just exactly how most of us started as traders. We are looking for ways to actually grow our income faster. You understand? Yes. We want to, double our hustle, and we find that this is just like, an easy to do thing. You don't need to go to work, you don't need to stress yourself, something like that. You understand? And some of us started, gaining free information on the internet, but this exact route should follow, which is gaining all the whole knowledge from one person. It's also commendable. So let's just continue listening to her.
was I would say logically thinking it was worth it, like definitely. But to be honest, at the end of the day, the strategies she showed us were really basic and it did not work for everyone, but at the same time in the group you would find people for whom it would work. And this was back in 2020, okay? So I was like, how old was I? 22. I think I just turned 22, yeah. And I really started out normal. Like I learned strategies. I learned really quickly because for me it was an opportunity to change not only my life but my family's life. And Corona was still going on and everything, and I was really scared about like job security from my mom. And yeah, for my dad it was fine. He was in home office, but still I just felt like I'm done listening hearing my parents say I can't afford it. So for me, this was like a dream. This was a possibility of making big wins. And obviously she was really upfront about the fact that you could make big losses, and risk management was really important to her. So I'm not trying to bash her. I'm not trying to say it's her fault. Not at all. She introduced me into the world of trading, and then she wasn't the only coach I paid money to learn trading. So I would say that, to be honest, the trading industry is really predatory, because you have all these people who are seemingly making so much money, but to be honest, the most money they're making is from selling their courses. And you're so desperate. I was so young. I was so desperate, thinking if I can just make it happen, like just have a strategy that works, I could make the money that they're making. Obviously coming from a standpoint of them like having hundreds and thousands of people paying them hundreds of dollars per month, for the information that you can basically find on the internet. So I paid, like, I think in total I had like 3 or 4 courses that I paid money for, and a lot of them were like monthly recurring. So I put a lot of money into the knowledge thing. But that was a big problem, because going into chapter 2, money. Once you get out of this demo, because in the beginning everyone tells you to trade demo, right? So that's what I was doing. And then at one point you're just like, oh, like I'm tired of making money on the demo account that I will never get, so let me put 100 euros in. And you do it, and then you start over trading, over leveraging. That was always my problem. My biggest problem with trading is not necessarily that I'm a horrible trader. Like, I was able to make a lot of money. Like, it wasn't one time, but many times I was able to make from 150 euros go to 1,000 or almost 2,000 in a day, but obviously I was over leveraging. And the moment I start over trading is when I lose it all. So over leveraging brings me the big bucks. And then when I lose a little bit or don't reach the goal that I just randomly chose, like I remember one day I went from like 140 or 180 euros to almost 2,000. Like it was at 1,800, and it started going down again. And I was so mad. Like I closed it. I think I was at 1.5, but I necessarily wanted 2,000. Like I didn't even start the day thinking I wanted that much money, but I just didn't have the sense of enoughness, right? So I did not have a sense of enough. Yeah, risk management, they always talked about it. But for me, the main topic that I would always hear is just, you can make a lot of money from trading. So I was like, risk management who? And dumbest mistake ever. So yeah, my biggest problem was definitely over leveraging, over trading. And I was so emotional. So I found myself, after years of trying, I even passed some challenges. Like there we can talk about how some prop firms are also predatory. These prop firms, they come out of nowhere, and then once you basically pass the challenges, they find reasons where they can give you your money, or they just disappear. So one of the only prop firms I have seen over the years lasting is FTMO, to be honest. But it's also so crazy, because now understanding that most consistent traders make like 1 to 3% per month, and they just want you to make 10%, then 5% is also like, this is such a bad habit to instill from the get-go. Obviously now with FTMO, I think you have unlimited time, but still, right? It's so, you put money in and you don't know when you're gonna see it. So that's just crazy. But at one point, it was, I think last year, in the beginning of 2023, I found myself at a point, actually at the end of 2022, starting 2023, I found myself at a point where I was 6K in minus. Like I owed $6,000 to my credit card. And I had another thing, but this is a different story, okay? I owed $6,000. Yeah, you get it. I was the girl who just stopped working her job, who has no money coming in, went through a breakup. So mentally I was not there. I was not ready. So I have no job. My workshops are not coming in. Like there's no money coming in, but my credit card needs 6,000. It was like 5.5. There was like 400 something bucks left, and it had a 6,000 limit. So just because the limit was at 6K, I couldn't even keep on trading, because I probably would have, like, and it was all from trading. Like I just went on a rampage where like in 2 days, I remember one day I put 3K in, just 1K. At first it started with 300 and then I lost it and I was so mad. I was like, I need to get it back. Like I was trading gold, you know, and the market was ranging basically, but you thought, okay, now it's going in that direction. Now it's going in that direction. And you're just over leveraging in one direction while it's just ranging. It's playing with you. And I would put in thousands and thousands and thousands until the card said, no, you can't put in more. And, you know, I was so emotionally drained. Like the thing that happened with trading is that I became such a like livid person, such a person that has no self-control when it came to trading, and I was so ashamed. Like I couldn't even tell my parents. I couldn't talk to anyone. I would just cry and get mad and get angry and scream and everything, and then I have to take a shower to calm myself down because I know it's my own fault. But it was just this cycle, this toxic cycle. And this is the crazy thing. Chapter 3, how I made the money back, right? And that's why I say I made this video because of God, because it was so much luck, guys. Like I think I had like 600 euros. Like I was in Benin, you know, after the breakup and everything. It was in April. I was in Benin. Yeah, I think no, it was in I think it was in March, beginning of March. Yeah, it was in March. I was in Benin and I started trading again. I took a break. And the thing is, it's not that I can't trade, it's I over leverage and I over trade. So I had like 300 bucks, lost it. Put another 300 in. And over 3 days, and that's by the grace of God, because I was praying, I was like starting to get back to God and everything. And I know he doesn't want me to trade. But I made it happen. Like I over leveraged. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't good trading, but over the course of 3 days, I went from 300 euros to 5K. And multiple times I almost lost everything, okay? So it's not like it wasn't smooth sailing. It was like me in front of the screen like a crazy person thinking, oh my days, I'm gonna die. That's all the money I have left. And all the money, because I think I had some money, like I earned some money from a workshop, so I only owed 4K. 4K were left by the time like in March from the credit card bill. No, I remember my dad, he got a severance paycheck and he gave me 2,000. Yeah, that's how kind he is, because I know he felt that I needed it. I didn't even need to tell him what it was for, but he knew that I was in debt. Like he knew, and I was never in debt before. And I was always the kid that would give, like also my brothers do it too, but I would always help my parents out, like, which wasn't even necessary, but I would always give them money if I had money over, right? So that's why I'm so happy, I'm so grateful he did that for me. And that's why I needed 4K, right? And I made 5. So the 4K, I take them out right away, put them in my credit card. I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much for saving me, because I knew it was from God. It wasn't me. I over leveraged, I over traded, like so many times the money was almost gone, and every time it felt like God saved me, right? I can't really explain it to you. But then after I paid the credit card bill, I had like 1K left. Guys, I lost it in a week. I lost it in a week. And that's why I know. That's how I know. And that trading is not supposed to be for me. It's not supposed to be for me. That one time, it's the only time I ever made so much money trading, like from such a small account. And I could never replicate it, you know? That's also something we have to understand. It's cool if you can make a lot of money once, but you have to be able to replicate it. And that's something I could not do because of the emotional capacity. I didn't have it. I don't have it for trading. And honestly, sometimes it's really important to forfeit, like to just say, I'm done. Really being able to acknowledge, maybe it's not for me. This is the biggest win in your life, because I know you see all these YouTubers, you see all these people on Twitter, on Discord, who are really good. Like I was in a whole community, in Discord community, where people was so good at trading, making bank, guys. And I was just like, why not me? Why not me? And that's when you have to understand it's not for everyone, right? And honestly, it took me some time still. It wasn't in that moment that I realized God doesn't want it for me. It took me until this year. Like I still, like, that's why until then I think I lost in total like 20K until the end of 2023. And with this year it's like 25 to 30. And a few months ago I really stopped. I totally stopped, and I decided this is not for me, and it's okay. it's okay that it's not for me. Because chapter 4, after relapsing, I just understood at one point. I just felt it. Like, I really worked on my relationship with God, and I got an understanding. Jennifer, there are so many other things that you want to do in this life. There are so many other businesses that you want to create there. The business you want is to impact people positively. With trading, I'm not impacting anyone. I'm sitting in front of the screen alone. And at worst, I'm going to bring in other people who might not be ready, which I did, sadly. So after relapsing, because it's relapsing, like that often happens when you have an addiction, and I had a trading addiction, I would waste days in front of the market, in front of the screen, in front of TradingView. Time I could have spent with my nephew, with my niece, with my family, with friends, I would waste it trading, running after the big bucks when I didn't even have a sense of enough. And that's when I understood that for me, trading was like, it wasn't only a way out of financial difficulties and a way to financial freedom. It was also me running away from being scared that I'm not good enough to have a real business. Like, not that it's not a real business, but like the business that I want to have, right? Where I really work with people, impact people positively. And therefore, obviously, it's easier to click a button and see money coming in. But you always forget that, yeah, you can win a lot of money, but you will lose even more. And these are the things that I had to understand. Like, it's so important, and it's really hard when you're addicted to something to come to a point where you're just like, you know what? It's okay to be done. It's okay to focus on other things. And I was just at points where I was like, all this money I put into trading, like 2,000, 3,000, a few hundreds, right? I could have used the money and literally build up a product and put in like Facebook ads or like whatever, you know. I could have just worked on something tangible. And I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? These are not the things that I want to do my whole life. And to be honest, for me personally, trading, I felt so unsatisfied. I felt so empty all the time. I felt so, it was like a rush. Like I felt this rush. It was like a high, you know, but I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't feel happy. I constantly felt like I was about to have a heart attack, to be honest. And this video is not to say that you should not be trading. There are people who are really good at it and who have the emotional capacity. This is for the people like me who, yeah, you have potential. It's not that you're bad, it's just not for you. And it's to have this understanding. Sometimes it's not for you, and that's okay. That's just fine. So yeah, I feel like I put down some notes just in case to not like forget anything, but I feel like I said everything that I wanted to say. You know, one last point, the survivor bias is so high in trading. It's extremely high. We constantly see these people making 300k, 1 million, whatever, you know, making so much money, thousands, but honestly, there are many more who lose money, and we constantly hear it. 95% of traders don't make it, and there are reasons for that, right? But it's really coming back to a point where it's like, okay, what do you want from life? What do you want financially? Like, what are your real financial goals? Like, goals where you would be happy. Obviously, we can always want more, and I feel like there's never like a top level, but what is the minimum with which you would be happy? And does it need to come from trading? Could it come from something else? Are there other gifts and skills that God has given you? Is there another purpose that God has given you and that you're running away from with trading? Because that's what I've been doing. Trading was a means of running away from the things I was really supposed to do. So I wasted 4 years. 4 years that I could have been doing other things. And it's not to say it's a bad thing, because I do believe that that's the reason I'm sitting here making this video. Even if I don't know if many people will watch it. But yeah, maybe you are supposed to do something else. And maybe it's going to be trading. And maybe it's going to be totally different. And that is also okay. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being so patient. This video is already quite long, and I'm gonna keep the editing minimal because your girl is lazy, but at least she's making it happen, okay? So have a great rest of your day, and yeah, thank you for watching. Good luck, and don't get yourself put down, because honestly, on my days, I was the most depressed while I was trading. I was the worst human being. while I was trading. And that is also a sign that it's just not for me. I was irritable, I was mad, I was angry. I was just a bad friend, a bad daughter, a bad aunt, a bad girlfriend, everything while I was trading. And this is not how it's supposed to be. Well, thank you for watching again. See you soon. Bisous.
That's just the story of this our sister, you understand? That's just the story. That's just one truth. Oh, she's a very sweet soul, very sweet soul, and I wish her well in all her endeavors in life. Yes, because she's very, 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 very honest. And one thing I like about her is that she acknowledged her mistake, knowing fully well that she's not just trading, she was just gambling. And she came in with a different mindset of, she did not come into the world of trading with the mindset of a forex trader. You know, she came in with a different mindset. Forget about my dark background. Forget about the dark background. You know, I just turn off my lights now. So honestly, I'm just so touched with her story. And I'm very happy for people like this who could actually come up to speak out the truth, as in to enlighten people that this is just the reality of trading. It's not how you think it is. You understand? And I thank God because she actually noted her mistakes. Things she actually did wrong. She was over trading, she was over leveraging, she came in with that doubling, flipping of account mindsets, and she acknowledged all those mistakes. And she know fully well that simply because this thing did not work for her doesn't mean it cannot work for you. That is just one thing I actually liked about this sister. You understand? Yes. She was so plain, so honest, and truthful to herself. She told herself just the gospel truth. You know, sometimes when you lose, you start blaming this, blaming that, blaming one or two other person for your failures. No. She took responsibilities for her mistakes, noted them out, and know the reason why she actually failed as a trader. And hopefully, she just discovered that trading is not for her. And that is just one truth about life. Trading is not meant for everybody. Not everybody will be a trader, and not everybody will make it as a trader. So it's okay for anyone to say, I'm quitting. For me, I can't pressure anybody who just said, you see this thing, I'm done with it. There's no wrong there. If you want to quit, go ahead. Trading is not meant for everyone. And believe me, 10 years to come, some people will not still be profitable in trading. That's not a cause, that's just the reality of life. In the world of trading, many are called, but few are chosen. Just like in every other field. Not everybody will make it in that particular field. And thank you, and please, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel to help this channel grow. Thank you, and I'll see you again in my next video.